Hi everyone, welcome to the 8th installment of Art Class from Home. My name is Evan Furness, I'm the visual arts educator at the gallery, and this week we are taking a look at Cogill Haworth's artwork, Self-Portrait. This week's activity has you create a self-portrait of your own, and the demo walks you through some easy to follow steps on how to properly draw the proportions of the face. Once you know these rules, you can repeat them infinitely, and then all you have to do is turn that generic template into a unique version of yourself by adding all the details that make you you. Check out the demo if you're interested in learning how to draw portraits. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you soon with another video. Hi everyone, welcome back to the 8th installment of Art Class from Home. This week I'm going to be walking you through how to draw a portrait using some very basic rules that can be applied to drawing pretty much any face. This template that we're going to create together is going to be used by you as the basis of a self-portrait. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get our piece of paper, we're going to get a pencil, and we're going to start by drawing the shape of an egg flipped upside down. So it's kind of like an oval with a bit of a pointier bottom. So that is going to be the shape of our head. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to divide the head in half horizontally. You can use a ruler for these steps as well. I don't typically use one, but it is definitely helpful to have one around, especially when we get into measuring things. So now that we have this line distinguishing where our eyes are going to line up, we're going to split this line up into 5 different sections using 4 lines. Doing this gives us the actual width that your eyes are going to be. If you were to actually line 5, this sounds super weird, but if you were to line 5 of your eyeballs up one right next to the other, they would make up roughly the width of your face. Everybody's facial features are a little bit different. Some people's eyes are a little closer together, some are farther apart. So you can adjust that to how you see yourself. Having a mirror on hand is really helpful. But we're going to use this just as a generic basic template for now. Now that we've mapped out the spaces where our eyes are going to go, we're going to kind of draw in the second and in the fourth space just the general shape of an eye. So it's kind of like a hill and then a valley underneath. So now we have the general shape of the eyes in there, and we're going to split the bottom half of the face in half again, horizontally. This line is going to mark where the bottom of our nose is. And to build the space for the nose, we're going to begin at the inside corner of the eyes, and we're going to draw a straight line down. Again, do this lightly so you can erase it later. We're going to draw a straight line down, and that's going to mark where the edge of our nose is going to be. And we're going to do a little C shape or a bracket there. We're going to do the same on the other side. So now those are kind of like the edges of the nostrils. And in the middle, we're going to actually define the nostrils by making kind of a 2-hill shape in between those 2 C shapes that we just made. Now to do the bridge of the nose, typically that's done through shading methods. But if we want to describe it through line, we're going to start just below the inside of your eye, and we're going to kind of make the opposite C shape with a much more gentle curve than the outside of the nostrils. We're going to do the opposite on the other side. So now we've got the general shape of our nose built in. And we're going to add the pupils, as they're going to be important for making the mouth. Our pupils and irises are circles, simply put. But typically when you're looking at somebody, the top eyelid actually covers your pupil and iris just slightly. So instead of doing just a big circle in the middle of your eyes, like you would think that you would do, you're actually going to start your circle just slightly covered by that top eyelid. So you're not really making a full circle. If you're having trouble with this, you can do a circle that slightly overlaps the eye, like this. And then you can just erase that top part, if that helps you do that better. And the pupil, it's the same thing, just in the middle of the eye, another circle. And then you can color those in with your pencil or with a darker pencil crayon. So now we have our eyes and our nose mapped into place, and we're going to do the mouth. So to mark where the mouth is going to be, we're going to make 2 little dashes, splitting this very bottom section into thirds. So we're going to make one like this. We're going to make one like this. And this top line is what's going to be our mouth. The bottom one is really just to make sure that we have the spacing correctly. Again, if you have a ruler with you, you don't need to make the bottom line. You can just actually do the math and measure it out. But if you are not so interested in doing math, or you just want to try it and see what happens, these 2 marks will do just fine, just as long as they're roughly spaced a third apart. So to make where the lips part, we're going to draw a light line down from the pupil. And then we're going to extend the top line to where those lines meet. So that's where the lips will part. And then to make the top lip, we do kind of like 2 mountains. So rather than doing really gentle curves like in the nostril, you kind of repeat that shape, but you give the tips a little bit more of a point to them. And then underneath, you do a bit of a valley, like that. A little U shape. So now we have basically all of the features of your face, except we're missing eyebrows and ears. So with the eyebrows, just slightly above the eye, it's actually about half the width of the eye above the eye, but you can just eyeball it. Haha. And you can just do kind of like a curve above here. Again, shape it to how your eyebrows look if you're drawing yourself, which is the point of this exercise. And if you want to get that eyebrow texture, rather than just doing a straight line, you can kind of do little marks outward like this. Eyebrow hairs always move away from the center of your face, so you want to make those tiny marks starting here and moving out, and same with the other side. So the eyebrows are going to be really important in terms of spacing out the ears. If you put your hand kind of like you're saluting onto your eyebrow and then move it to the side of your face, typically what you'll feel is the very top of your ear. And we're going to put a mark there on either side of the head just to note where the ear is going to start. And then if you do the same hand motion but with the bottom of your nose here and move it along the side of your face, at least for me, you'll notice that your earlobe and the bottom of your nose sort of match up. Now some people have smaller ears. I kind of have bigger ears, so other people will probably... The way that you can actually figure out where your ear lines up is you just do the reverse. Instead of starting from your nose and going to your earlobe, you can start from your earlobe and turn it around to your face. So for me, I'm going to put a mark right where the nose is. And now we're going to add the shape of the ear. So the top of the ear is pretty simple. Just starts off like a regular curve. But then it kind of... We want to keep the marks that we make now really close to our face, because if you think of an ear, typically you would think of this general shape, right? But that's if we're looking at somebody from the side. If we're looking at someone head on, their ears are actually, in most cases, much more flush to their head. Again, adjust as you see fit for yourself. So we're going to keep our line really tight to our head. And basically you're kind of just going to make, like you're going to make a half a heart, except instead of connecting at the bottom, you're going to come back out in a bit of a circle. Now that we have this template, you're going to want to turn it into a drawing of yourself. Now to do this, you're going to want to grab a mirror, and you're going to really want to take a long look at yourself in the mirror. You're going to compare between this template and what you see in the mirror, and you can erase things and make changes as you see fit. And I'll put up a drawing here that I did before using the same template to draw myself with. So now that you have these steps in your toolbox, you can really draw any face. All you have to do is change it to fit the model that you're drawing or the person that you're drawing. So that's all I have for this week. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you soon with another video.